This fandom seems to have a very big problem when it comes to choosing the next crew member. Quick to pick, slow to make sense of it. Hi, I'm Vegapunk, and no, Vegapunk is not the next Nakama. I've seen a lot of people pushing this idea that Vegapunk is the next Straw Hat. No, that's not happening. I think what it is that people are just so desperate for another crewmate that they kind of just pick someone. That's why you see all these strange choices of people saying characters like Katakuri or Bon Clay or Caesar Clown. It's kind of just depressing because it just shows me that people aren't really thinking about what it takes to be a Straw Hat. And no, I don't mean from a Luffy perspective, I mean from an Oda perspective. For example, one of the most basic rules that everybody should know after reading 1,000+ chapters and watching 1,000+ episodes is that each of the Straw Hats have their own unique role for the crew, and nobody else tops them in that role. So with that knowledge, if you asked someone what role will Vegapunk have, the argument is pretty much over at that point. I mean, like, what are they gonna say? Oh, he'll be the technician or the scientist. You guys do realize that Vegapunk does the exact same thing as Frankie, right? And he definitely has more medical knowledge than Chopper. So what are you expecting to get? 2 shipwrights and 2 doctors? You're getting nothing. That's what you're getting. Let me tell you what a good example is. A good example is when people say Carrot would make a great lookout, or barrelman, which is the technical term. Basically the person that sits at the crow's nest. The reason why this is a good example is because Carrot was shown with lookout skills in her very introduction. Not only that, but she also actually took the position in Whole Cake Island. And a lot of people like to make the argument of, oh, well, lookout position is something that needs to be manned day and night. Carrot can't do that. Well, look at you with your no researching self. The funny thing about it is that Carrot is a king's bird, and that just happens to be the one convenient position where she is required to stay up day and night. Oh, how oh so very convenient. A little too convenient. It's actually quite literally on the nose. It's very interesting. But I digress. That's literally a better example than, well, every character that you can name. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say anything like, oh, Carrot is the next Straw Hat. No. Why would I give you guys facts? The One Piece community isn't about facts. It's about making up a bunch of crap without much evidence, and then when Oda does the most obvious thing ever, you guys go, oh my god, Oda! You little sexy Asian man, you! I mean, this is literally the same fandom that will tell you that Shanks is the strongest in the verse, even though they can't prove it or back it up with any level of facts whatsoever. And 110% of the story goes against that saying anyways, but they still keep saying it. But hey, welcome to the One Piece community. Now let's give a bad example, such as everybody's favorite, Yamato becoming the official combatant. She can be the clubs woman. You know, like how Zoro is the swordsman and she wields a club, so she can be the clubs woman because that makes sense, yeah.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. God have mercy on your soul.
So Zoro is the right-hand man. It may say that he's just a combatant, but we all kind of know that Zoro is the right-hand man, and you do well to respect that, okay? Also, clubs woman? Really? I mean, like, are we really that desperate right now? I mean, that's like having some random guy show up and be like, oh yeah, let me join your crew. I can hit people with a bat. I can be your official bat man. What? Like, I get trying to have room for things and all, but don't you think that's a little too loose? That's like prostitute kitty cat, I've been doing this for 20 years kinds of loose. Nobody should want something like that. Let's be a little bit realistic here. point I'm trying to make is, stop forcing it. Unless you want to end up like Yamato fans. Granted, Oda kinda screwed you guys on purpose, which is absolutely hilarious. I'm sorry. Hey, look, Yamato fans, people like me, we tried to tell you, okay? But no, you just had to ignore the fact that she was the guardian deity of Wano, and that's just scratching the surface of why she couldn't join. Oh, and Yamato fans, Yamato is still not going to join.
Boo this man!
You will never see this girl as a Straw Hat, only as an honorary one, and that means absolutely nothing. Keep in mind that Yamato made the decision to stay because Wano needed protecting because Momo and the Scabbards are not strong enough. Why would that change in the next arc or so? It's crazy to think about because I remember during Wano when people were like, why would Yamato stay? One Piece is about free will and following your dreams. And I'm like, what if she decides to stay by her own free will? And then they're like, what? That would never happen. And then that's exactly what ended up happening. But that's not even the part that bothers me. The part that bothers me is the fact that a lot of these same exact people who go on about free will, when they see Carrot being forced against her free will to rule Zou, people go, it's fine. It's expected. And that's exactly why I'm glad Yamato didn't join. That's what you get. And Carrot will always be a better candidate. Always. Not that I'm saying she'll join or anything. Don't want to anger the fandom because you know how everybody loves to specifically ignore Carrot in favor of Bon Clay and Katakuri and Vegapunk and Tama and Momo, Yamato and Pudding and Vivi. Oh, by the way, Vivi's not joining either.
Oh, you fucking asshole!
And look, somebody's gotta say it. The girl's father just died. Her whole country's in turmoil. Her wanting to protect the people of Alabasta is the whole point of her character and the whole reason why we traveled to Alabasta in the first place. Like, the only reason I would see her not going back is if she was one of the people who saw Emu in the chair and she was like, nah, I don't want to get my country nuked. Then okay, I would completely understand that, but honestly, Sabo didn't even know that, did he? That's probably why he went to Lelouchia Kingdom, because he didn't actually expect him to be completely nuked into oblivion, even though I know he's alive, but that's not the point. That's not the point. Anyways, the point is that Vivi's not joining, okay? But if only we had a character that actually checked off all the boxes of becoming a Straw Hat. If only, right? Well, whenever that character appears, you best believe I'ma be there.
I'ma be there, up and over. I'ma be there, up and over.
And it's gonna be a funny time. If you enjoyed this content, please by all means like and subscribe so you can see my reaction to when Carrot finally joins the crew. When we get our final crewmate. But with all that being said, Vagabond gone.